You know, it's always great to see you. It's amazing how this conference has gotten bigger every year. But it's special for me to have the opportunity to see all of you in person. This year, we, like many companies, are putting significant resources into exploring what AI can do and incorporating AI into our products and into our business. Other speakers will address these topics in more detail, and there'll be some interesting demonstrations of some of the advances. But I wanted to, this morning, just make a few general comments about AI, and especially about generative AI, such as ChatGPT. So over our 46-year history, we've been through a number of major technology shifts, and many of you have been through every one of them with us. We've seen the shift from mainframes to mini computers, then to microcomputers, PCs, tablets, and phones. CRT roll and scroll moved to GUI and then browser-based UI. Time sharing moved to on-prem, and now cloud computing is an option. Of course, at the same time, there's been many other technologies that were highly touted but disappeared a few years later. And in fact, AI is one of those that's gone in and out of vogue several times. The trick is to ascertain what's a passing fad and what's really revolutionary. So the question is AI, and especially generative AI, a revolutionary wave, or is it a fad? Now, given the amount of hype given to AI, it can be very easy to dismiss it as a fad. But there's something much more substantial here that truly does have the opportunity to be transformative. Personally, I believe that we are at the next stage of the next big shift in computing. And it will not happen as fast as everyone thinks. It will not do everything people are expecting. But I believe it will be transformative over time in ways that are not clear right now. And that's why we've dedicated the first day of our annual summit to this topic. Now, while generative AI provides a number of exciting new capabilities, I often think of it as a new user interface, one in which we can converse with the computer using natural language. However, the user needs to understand that the answer may be inaccurate, just as when we converse with another human being. Most modern AI is based upon a technology called neural networks, which started with a paper that was written in 1943. There were significant advances in the 1960s and the 1980s, and in fact, neural networks were largely abandoned in the late 60s for many years. Many people would say that the fundamental technology of neural networks has remained basically the same over the last couple of decades. What has changed is the rise of massive computing ability and the ability to feed neural networks massive quantities of data. Now, obviously, AI's need for massive data and computing power takes advantage of many of our core strengths, so we're especially excited about this opportunity. Capitalizing on these new capabilities, generative AI has produced stunning results in accessing and summarizing information, yet it really is still in its infancy. AI is now, of course, the subject of intense research, so there may well be fundamental advances in the coming years. Now, as you might guess from the name, neural networks are based upon our understanding of the brain and how neurons function. But it's based on a 1940s, 50s, and 60s understanding of the brain, so it's still a pretty primitive understanding. Linguists and philosophers have long seen a close connection between language and thought, but modern research has shown that language and thought are based in different portions of the brain. Now, that shouldn't be too much of a surprise. After all, solving a math problem requires thinking, but not language. Generative AI appears to produce language that is strikingly similar to the language produced by humans. But an accurate way to think of it is language without thought. Indeed, researchers often refer to AI as hallucinating data, and that's why it's important for us to think of AI as an assistant rather than as a source of truth. So what's next? Well, that's hard to know, but we can be sure that AI will be evolving. So as an example, brain scientists have discovered that in baby mice, before they're born, portions of the brain light up with waves that ripple across them. They believe that the brain is pre-programming itself to see the motion before the mouse ever opens its eyes. So how might we apply that concept to AI? Current AI models depend upon consuming massive quantities of data to train the model, which is very expensive and includes a significant amount of inaccurate data and even propaganda. So scientists are exploring how to pre-train models so that they require significantly less data, which would enable creating more sophisticated models for specialized purposes and doing so at significantly lower cost. Now, the point of all this is that AI, and especially generative AI, is a powerful technology that will have a large impact on all of our businesses. It's important to understand that we really are at the beginning of this revolution, and it will evolve in ways that we don't foresee. It's also important to remember that today's technology functions as an assistant. It is an advisor, not a source of truth. But its accuracy will improve over time, along with the scope of its capabilities. Now, over the next few days, we will have a number of demonstrations to give you a sense of how the use of AI will transform healthcare IT and the practice of medicine, as it will for many other fields. In doing so, I hope we will be able to help you gain more insight into the potential of this transformative technology and help stimulate some ideas of how it might be helpful to you and your business. I believe now is the time for all of us to get engaged with AI, and especially generative AI, and we will be adding AI functionality into all of our products. As always, we continue to strive to maintain our focus on innovation, excellence, and most importantly, the success of you, our client. As you've heard me say before, the essence of who we are is a creative technology company with a passion for excellence and client success. Our current focus on generative AI is just one example of our desire to find innovative ways to build exciting technology that's of value. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for your trust, and thank you for your business. Like everyone from InterSystems, I look forward to meeting as many of you as I can over the next few days. So if you see me standing around, please walk over and say hello. Thank you.